It'd be an unfortunate idea if I went against him.
I never suggested such a thing.
Sure you did.
Oh, go back to
Artemis.
waiting for...
Artemis, without his helm, you actually saw him smile there, and he'll say, "Dragonfire at such a large size can really hurt."
It grunts. Clearly knowingly.
Artemis smiles.
Looks over to Artemis. So, it looks like Great Goldie wants to get rid of you. It snickers.
Artemis smiles and says, "I think he tried to get rid of you with the armies, but you just proved to be good at staying alive, I guess."
And you as well, it seems.
He gives a wink.
Well, I guess he's desperate at this point. There's only four of us. What, four of them left now?
Artemis nods. Not enough. Not for what we're doing. Artemis smiles. Says, "Yeah, I think if it wasn't for the fact your sire is one, that I think you would be, I don't think you would be here."
Possibly not. Looks over to Laurel. So I've been told that you've managed to, well, get yourself from being completely unknown to being well regarded in your kind.
So does everyone. We are born unknown and we grow up to be well regarded.
I'm unsure if everyone is born unknown. Your nobility seem to be known well enough.
Some, I'm sure. But yes, I will confirm your words. That is correct. I have risen rather high.
The same goes for the rest of you, if I remember correctly. At least if my liege is telling me so.
Although one from your party is missing. From what we're told, at least.
Was there not two? Didn't they have some woman as well?
Artemis nods and says yes, but from what he said, she was a bit nuts.
I think she'd give him a headache.
Artemis nods.
I'll wait until she gives a message that we should come in.
Yeah, so a little bit of time passes, and you will get a mental message that they're done. The gold dragon watching the door as you come in. The white kind of slipping in behind. After watching all of you go in. I have spoken to her about her plans, and very well. I have confirmed her intent, and it seems that this is her genuine goal. Furthermore, I will even pay for her ritual.
Very well then. It seems the Empire has done you a great service.
He hears at you carefully for a moment, clearly considering something. I believe it's time this needs to become known by some. I have a great secret I wish to place upon all of you.
Artemis looks wide-eyed at him.
assuming you're willing to keep said secrets, I invite you to see something which your kind has probably never bared witness before.
You would not suggest such a thing if you did not already know the answer.
Looks at Zoe.
She nods. Really surprised that suddenly this big secret is going to be shared.
Looks to Bollard.
Nods.
As the Great Gold rises slightly from its position on the floor, moving itself just slightly ajar from its old position, allowing for some room to the giant glass door behind it. Behind these doors leads to both what you referred to as the Dragon Graveyard, but also something more. A secret which I'm sure that Harkus, with my blessing, Artemis would... Yeah, you named your character. You renamed your character.
Yeah.
Artemis, with my blessing, will be willing to tell you about. I trust that they... Well, actually I know they have the best intentions for this place. And I fear that the day will come where we will need aid on our side. And aid cannot be kept by keeping secrets.
Artemis nods and looks to Laura and says, "Well, I guess you'll find out the last of my vows then." And Artemis heads towards the door.
Mm-hmm. The dragon seems to push the door open slightly of its tail, allowing you entry through.
Oh, Artemis will...
How many of you will go through? All of you? None of you.
How many of us will go to learn the secret?
Mm-hmm. Behind the giant glass stained doors.
Guarded by the giant gold dragon.
Are the horses coming?
Yeah.
Tons of jewels in there.
Bala's not coming.
My whole treasure is made of sand. That's
As
the
you-
secret.
As you go through, it feels like you're in just a different place. The door behind you almost stands on its own, just mist surrounding where the wall should be. The room is filled with skeletons, perfectly put together around the edge, each with a large stone with names written on it in Draconic. The room is massive. You cannot see the far side due to just almost like a thin layer of mist. Yet in the center of the room, and even through the floor, you can see it sprouted. A huge tree that looks dead, except small motes of light that hang from it. The base of the tree, surrounded by a large stone plinth, with writing engraved upon it. The place feels different. Sacred in a way. And you can feel it. This is the place which very few, if any, have entered in a very long time. Sobina looks around, very curious at all the skeletons. Also clearly trying to imagine the size of the room. Trying to judge.
And the size of her necromantic army if she wanted to raise everything around.
Whoa.
Hey, she's one of our allies.
Yeah, I know.
Whatever she has, we have. She wouldn't be alone. Alright, yeah, we look at the big tree.
It's a huge tree. It looks dead, but it's clearly not. And the tree seems to spread out its roots all the way across the floor for this entire room. Spreading further and further. Sabine looks over to you. So what part of this is actually... What exactly is this place? Looking at Artemis.
Artemis will look back and say, this is, to many, a myth. To us, and now you, this is the World Tree. A reality.
If anyone wants to know if they know anything about the World Tree, that would be either an Arcana or a religion check. Either or.
Sure, I'll go with Arcana.
I'll go with religion.
Because I surely won't know if anyone worships it.
Laurel has heard the rumors.
It's a natural 22.
Zoe hasn't, but Laurel has definitely heard of the rumors. Only Laurel has heard of the rumors between the PCs. Well, other than Artemis. You would know the World Tree is a legend. It is something going back deep into the history that is said that almost this entire continent never existed and then sprouted from one point and grew.
So what exactly is it good for?
There are hundreds of legends surrounding it, and how many of them are true are unknown. Some say anyone who could reach it could get immortality, wishes beyond their wildest dreams. Others say it's that feeds all life to the continent.
I like the wish thing.
Which one of these is exactly true, you're not sure, but whatever it is exceptionally powerful. And to Laurel's mind, it's probably the reason this area is, well, as it is. So verdant, so wild.
Alright then. Oh, sure.
It is in itself. As you said, by all records, it should be a myth. But you're standing right in front of it.
Artemis will look to everyone and say, bear in mind that this is what the great gold, 2 silvers, and the white are here to guard, including myself. And we will not be... we will not think twice about destroying you, including myself, to defend this.
I am sure that no one in our company would have any reason to destroy any tree.
You hear the great golden voice echo through the door. Destroying this tree would bring a cataclysm to the entire land. What exactly the cataclysm would be is not known, but it's not the best I will mention now. There is good reason I have been here protecting it for millennia.
Rumors say that the tree has mystical power that can be harnessed by those who are given the, chance to see it.
Mostly myth, though it does contain some magical power. Tapping it is, well, dangerous for most.
I assume you have done so multiple times, however. Perhaps this is the source for your great magical power.
On scarcity I have done it. Tapping the World Tree it gives both boons and penalties to those who try. It is a source of magic not to be toyed with, you understand.
Just naturally. So why did you show us this?
Each of the great dragons that die, all 10 of us, we were assigned the task of guarding this place from the outside world. Yet this is becoming difficult. The red betrayed us and has now been put into a deep slumber. The brass is missing. The white is alive, but in the far north at the moment. And the rest are dead. And soon I fear that the same may happen to me, leaving this place vulnerable. If this is before, and none of the other greats are able to take up this mantle, will fall to the people of this land to do the same before, well, someone does something foolish.
That certainly does seem reasonable.
Each light you see hanging on the tree is the essence of some powerful creature in this land. Technically, all in this land's life force are bound to the tree, but many are not visible, though the most powerful shine brightly. Even yours are visible somewhere upon the tree, if you were to search all the branches.
And if they were removed?
You yourselves would feel great physical anguish, likely not death, but it would not be a pleasant experience.
And then? Simple pain.
I cannot give exact details, as I have never removed a creature's essence from the tree. I do not wish to befall harm unto anyone, as understandably so. All life is sacred.
Yes.
The final reason is, I fear that as we die off, there is, well, deep into the past, even when we were first hatched, there has always been a prophecy written around the base of this tree. Not about the tree itself, but about this land. And that, I fear, is soon to come to fruition.
And what would that be?
Read for yourself.
Or we'll read the prophecy.
Yes, as you approach closer. And I'm going to post it in chat. It is going to be just one huge block of text because, yeah, it doesn't auto-separate.
Do you wish me to read it?
Anyone who wants to may read it if they want to.
Let the light be quenched upon the sight of a hollow sun with the blood of those whose protect these sacred lands. May this be told by the branches of the world tree. Blood that laid upon this sacred land, and he who sleeps within shall be awakened. The name of the successor will be known. Fear for the successor's true awakening. The successor will slay their pretenders and take back which was theirs. If this day arises, may conflict rise between the two scions of the lesser races, one born of two worlds in conflict of blood and fear, the other born out of one world but of equal conflict. The pretender, hallowed by his ancient sire and betrayed by his kind must survive this calamity. May they defeat the successor before the world passes its judgment. This conflict watched by the world tree, its creators and their sacred children. Those blessed by the mother shall war, but may her true plan not succeed. Blood thy conflict gives shall awaken who sleeps within. Let thy successor's wish become truth. Lies will cut the eldritch threats, and let these sacred lands reunite to her domain.
Somebody would look at you. That was cryptic.
So who would this successor be?
I wish we knew the answer to that. The great gold dragon echoes in. These prophecies have existed for millennia.
Why choose to show it to us if it's been there for millennia? Maybe it's gonna take millennia before the successor even appears.
because the hour of twilight is coming.
What's the hour of twilight?
Most notably, with the blood of those who protect these sacred lands. I believe that refers to the great dragons, myself and the 3 others. And if we are to fall, that would complete that piece of the prophecy. Remember, this is from a day when prophecy was always true.
One of your silver dragons said that you should take prophecies lightly.
Nowadays that is true. But this prophecy was made long before your human god's death.
Two scions of the lesser races. Such flowery language.
I do not understand why someone would write it in such a way.
Who's her?
Her?
It talks about a female.
No,
Who's
it
her?
doesn't.
Yes,
The
it
mother.
does. And let the sacred line unite to her domain.
It also says, hallowed by his ancient sire and betrayed by his kind. There's numerous genders.
It's referring to different people.
Yeah.
The her seems to be showing to a figure called the Mother, who shall war. Him seems to be the successor.
So, the mother, is it the one you talked about, Laurel?
That is a suggestion. We have heard of someone calling themselves the Mother before. Is this a prophecy that is well known?
It is known by only those in dragonkind who have been told the secret of the tree.
That's very unlikely then that it is someone trying to fulfill the prophecy themselves. We have been contacted or had contact with someone calling themselves the Mother.
Someone tried to go into my dreams.
Then my fear is greater, because it seems her plan is in motion.
Powerful evil entity of red and green lips.
Troubling that she's active at this point. I may have told this to you even too later than I thought it was.
What do you know about her?
Unfortunately, I have never run across any information to do with her before. If I knew more, I'd be glad to tell.
But it still sounded like you knew of the Mother.
I simply know of her writing here. Nothing more.
One born of 2 worlds in conflict of blood of fear. The other born in 1 world but with equal conflict. 2 scions. 2 people who are very important for this to go true. Must fight in order for this to come true.
So, is this William and the witch?
I don't think so.
Remember, Artemis will say, that this is a prophecy millennia old. I doubt you'll be able to find the answers in a few short hours.
The pretender, hallowed by his ancient sire, betrayed by his kind, must survive this calamity. Who is the pretender? I would believe that this would be William.
Why is he the pretender?
Well, he does have an ancient sire, and he was betrayed somewhat by his kind.
But why pretender? What is he pretending?
A pretender would usually refer to someone who has a claim on something that they do not currently own. Have.
You must have some more information. You have had this riddle for millennia, or at least your entire existence. You must know more about this than what you've told us.
We have never known when it would take place. Therefore, matching it with your kinds who live only 100 years is difficult. We suspect that one side of this conflict is indeed the royal family. The other side, who knows?
Why is the royal family so important?
They have always been important in this land. And possibly they also triggered the thing to start in the first place.
Because of the arms?
More due to the actions of the first. The first of the great 10 to die was the Black.
The Black?
And your first emperor was the one to kill him.
Who's the... Oh.
It was a very long time ago.
Really dark.
Out of character, this deduction will take way longer than a session. And with all prophecies, you generally don't find out the answer to them until they've come to full fruition.
Then what is the meaning of a prophecy?
Prophecy tells you what it means, but it's going to be cryptic.
Yeah, but what is the meaning of a prophecy when you don't know what it's going to mean before it happens?
If you're smart enough to figure it out, then I guess you...
The idea, I think, back then with prophecy was that the gods would tell people what would happen in the future. Before Eredin's death, fate was a thing that happened. You could not change things. There was no real way to stop a prophecy from coming true. It would happen. Eredin died, and as he was the god of divination and humanity, humanity's fate is now unshackled. Prophecies can be changed. That is why they're so uncertain nowadays. This was certain to happen back then, but since then a lot of things has happened, meaning that parts of it could be not true, or entirely not true. However, things that it suggests seem to be happening, and so watching out for things that would fit the other parts would be something we could do.
But then normally by the time you find out the end of... by the time you piece all the parts together, they've already happened, and there's no chance of turning it back. Prophecies aren't there for you to change the future. They're there to tell you what the future is.
So if any race is going to try to break a prophecy, it'll be humanity.
Yep. And generally, humanity doesn't live long enough to figure stuff like that out. Something Laurel's vast mind, along with Gwagageg, may be able to figure out.
Perhaps. But for now, such a prophecy will simply fade to the back of our minds, and we will pick it up again once we have more to go on. For now, we certainly know who our enemies are.
The Drow?
Yes. And this weird mother figure. Whoever that might be.
Whoever she is, her plan cannot come to fruition. I fear that would be the end for both our kinds.
Very well. Keep us updated with anything you find about it. We'll act accordingly.
Very well. You see Selvina while you were talking back and forth, basically leave the room, grab some things from the dragon's pile, walk back in.
Yeah.
Start preparing herself for some kind of spell.
She has a lot of work to do.
Mm-hmm.
You are free to wait around here or travel till the ritual is done.
Is there any more we require that requires us to stay?
Unless you have additional business, no.
I would like to have a conversation with you, but perhaps we can do that this evening, and then we might leave tomorrow.
That is fine. If you wish for food, some can be provided.
Some may.
I understand that some of you no longer require to eat.
Simple magic. With that, we'll take another glance at the world tree, and he will take his leave for now to speak to this dragon at a later point. He has some inquiries about different constructs and whatnot. He might be able to answer some mechanical or magical questions that he has to speed up his own work. It's rare you find a mind that is this good.
Downtime stuff, yeah.
I suppose we'll find a cabin for this this night.
The Gold Dragon will also inform you, by the way, until future notice. Artemis, you are to serve the Empire in their goals. That is an order.
Alright, sure. Artemis will just accept it, and we'll then follow with the group, I guess. And pack a very, very tiny bag.
Do you have a bag?
He has a tiny bag, as odds and sods.
Did you actually buy a bag?
Yeah.
Is it a purse?
No, it's just like you know, normal like just little backpack. Like it's a small backpack. He doesn't carry much.
Alright.
Yeah.
There is such thing as a man purse, just saying.
He's not wearing a man purse.
Oh, great.
No.
According to chat, the new policy Nora will need to implement is dragon tax.
Dragon tax. All right. Yeah. Go try and tell him that he needs to. Go tell him he needs to pay tax for his.
I mean, he knows that he's a part of the Imperial Dominion.
You know, that whole it just made me, ugh. Well, are we gonna leave?
I'll have a chat to Gold Dragon, but that's not immediately important. So we'll certainly leave the next day.
Very well.
We'll just leave William here.
Don't forget William.
I'm getting William.
Maybe Karun as well. And Bollard.
I don't know. Maybe call.
Bollard is not my responsibility.
Yeah, Bollard. Damn. I'll drag
We
Bollard.
will begin leaving then
sorry.
at the first of Eridus.
Bye, Bollard.
So,
Oh, he came.
Captain Manikai, how long is the timer got left?
We have exactly 3 months.
Woo! Plenty of time. Let's go slaughter some drow. Woo!
Seems to be a violent man.
That was me out of character.
I'm pretty sure that was Halldamir, not.
Yeah. That was me, not Artemis.
It just took me that it would be extremely rude to just go and pray just the first thing we come on and say, well, bye! Probably should not just do that.
Early dawn of the morning, Selvina will join you back on the ship, by the way.
Who? Oh,
Duchess lady.
is she already done?
Basically, she works through the entire afternoon and night.
That was fast.
What she was doing. And she will return back and immediately look for crew quarters to go to sleep in.
Sure.
Because that was a long night.
Is that her makeup or is she just tired?
Both.
Don't be so mean.
That was a me joke, not Zoe.
Burn. She's a duchess, you will respect her. She could buy out your dad in a heartbeat.
What, die out?
Buy out.
Buy out. I don't know, every time we talk about her, I always hear death or something, I don't know why.
I mean, I know she's a necromancer, but not everything to do with her is death.
It's true.
And, you know, she's just goth. Jeez.
Yeah, okay.
Respect personal style.
You can have good necromancers, they're a thing.
These lawful people. Something's
I'm
different.
not
Let's
saying-
persecute it.
I'm not saying anything except that maybe that is not supposed to be there.
What? You don't like have a mass there?
That's not why you have them.
Fine.
Alright. So, Artemis will look to the group if they're all on the deck and say, so what's our next plan then?
Well, we will fly to bring the Emperor back to the palace. Then the idea would be to strike at a drow encampment we have found to see if we can gather some information about what they, how much they know and what they've planned. This will perhaps also be a way for you to show your prowess, so to speak. If you would accept such a task.
Artemis nods and says, like the Great Gold said, I am to follow Imperial instruction. For now.
Very well then, I believe it is, good Lord Volsamar. That would be your technical superior. Unless you are bringing something undisclosed through the border points of the Empire, I don't want to have too much to do with that.
Artemis kind of like raises an eyebrow and says, unless the group or the Emperor asks me to do something, then or the Council and the Emperor request me to do something, then I won't be doing things for just lackey work.
So good for that then. Alright. I will leave you to it. I'll be in the captain's quarters.
As you walk through, you hear William basically spewing out basically excited comments to Colrune about basically mostly just about the Gold Dragon. That was kind of exciting.
Hello?
Pseudo Dragon looks at Zoe some more.
I was gonna press mute, but I accidentally ended call. What is the pseudo dragon and William?
So your dragon is just giving you a staring contest.
Oh. I'm sorry, I have other stuff to do.
And William's just talking about talking to the big gold dragon.
As a pseudo dragon the pseudo dragon will fly away after you end the staring contest. You kind of get thought in the mind it's kind of happy it won.
It didn't win.
You left.
So one.
So rude.
It's smiling at all of you.
Will it take the same amount of time to fly back?
Are you piloting?
No, it will just do the same we did last time.
It will take 9 days to get back.
Oh god, this is awkward.
Why?
Conversation started pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Mostly from William basically firing questions at Artemis.
Oh, okay, good. I thought we were just sitting here in silence.
Artemis will gladly talk to William.
But basically, it's quick fire round of who are you? It's like, right, what's that symbol for? Like, you get the idea.
Yeah. Little kid intrigue, basically.
Oh,
Laurel will be working for this time.
So listen in so she can learn some more about the science. What is Bollard doing? Just standing there?
Basically, he's looking around,
He-
taking in
I'm gonna
the
go pet.
sights.
He's
Gotta
doing
pet the
Bollard
dog.
stuff.
Make me a perception check.
You're petting the dog?
Sure.
Yes, you pet the dog.
Oh man, that was awful.
It's because a dog licked your
Plus
face.
3.
You see, there's a dog on the ship.
Ah, hi dog.
There's a
It's
dog
licking
on the
your
ship.
face.
I
My
like when you feed him
God!
bacon.
Aww.
It also makes the kitty nervous.
Aww. Do you feed it bacon?
Sure, yeah.
What was its name? Bacon?
They-
Bacon the dog?
Come here, Bacon.
Artemis will even show William his sword. His rather fancy sword.
What's so fancy about it?
What is fancy about it?
One, it glows. When he first takes it out, it glows very, very similar to anything holy. Zoe would know at very least, and probably Corinne. The sword is on fire quite clearly, but if Zoe was to pay attention to the blade, it also looked like the actual the metal was covered in ice as well. And on the hilt, instead of just a plain handle, it's in a silver dragon kind of form, like a silver dragon wrapped around a pillar.
William will seem very intrigued by it. Showing his very fancy rapier it's expensive, not because it's magical, just because of how it's been made.
Yeah.
So you're impressed.
Oh, he would. He knows how to impress a kid, I think.
No,
He's-
so you're
he's-
impressed with his
Yeah, he would.
rapier.
He's just he's not used to kids. Like it's
Not
not
a kid, this is the Emperor.
it's not exactly a thing that he does.
He may realise you're not actually that impressed.
Aww.
I don't know. Actually, I think
Terrible.
Hang
You know,
on,
Aryan
hang
would
on.
look in through the window really angry at you.
does he though? Does he?
No, he doesn't, apparently.
Oh yeah.
Oh, no, he's happy.
Yeah, he's like yay.
I imagine just Aryan just fly off with him and just running around. Oh, get back here.
Pretty much.
And Bacon the dog is just barking.
Bacon the dog.
Bacon the dog. Oh god, now it's gonna be awkward.
Why?
We don't have a kid asking you questions.
You do
So we
have
can
a
ask-
cat. You do have a cat and a pseudo dragon chasing each other around the room, though.
It's true.
Aww.
So we can always ask questions.
She can show you the bust she has.
You would recognise the person on the bust.
I would recognize the person on the bust. Yeah, it's true. It's true.
I have a bust.
He will look quizzical and just kind of shrug it off. It's kind of like
She'll tell him the story of when the king jumped through her window and her father hit him on the head with his pure reaction and knocked out the king.
Artemis kind of nods, kind of shakes his head. It's like, all right, sure.
It was kind of funny.
You didn't meet the king on your trips before.
I have, all right.
You just liked him greatly,
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah.
Well, if you want, you can hold the bus that knocked him out.
No, it's okay. That's not really a thing he's into. You know.
And then she'll go professional and tell him about what she does, and we'll point out that doesn't see that well. But
He's probably noticed the cloudy eyes,
yeah.
in all fairness.
But she'll also explain not to underestimate it because she can sense life. So what she can't see, she can sense.
Artemis nods.
Manakai's scheming.
He is.
He's just sitting there smiling.
How
I'm
does
not listening. I'm doing my own.
how does Artemis describe himself to Zoe? Who are you?
Yeah,
Who are you?
he'll basically say, an official title would be Paladin of the Exiled Wyrm. I don't particularly like being called that all the time, but it's a rarity, for sure. When it comes to experience in courtly manners, I don't really have much. Dragons tend not to be so formal as humans, although I have some knowledge and a year or two of experience. But mostly, I defend the area around the World Tree. Sadly, your Empire's rebellion got in between of that a few times.
Yeah, the previous Empress was not very understanding.
Yes, well, sadly she lost a few armies. Well, both sides lost a few armies to us.
Why did she even attack you?
She didn't. She just got too close. Something so valuable we needed to protect. And the easiest way was for no one to find out where it was.
You know what? I think that's a good idea. She has a tendency to, when she finds something she really wants, she just does whatever she wants to get it.
Artemis nods and says, "Wasn't exactly the best few months. Killing scores isn't exactly fun."
It never is.
Coming from the person who's never killed.
Yeah.
Yeah, never killed. Well, I don't know if he knows about her goddess, but
I don't know.
I know that many know of the bandit fist.
Yes, you would know.
Alright. Then he knows.
The bandit fist means that never to hurt any living.
Yeah. Well, Arcus will say that he's been tempered in battle as well as tempered in fire. Kind of gestures to his armor and says, "Hence the rather dark look of my armor. Used to be silver once. And grey gold kind of changed that."
You know, if you want to share broken armor, we can do that. There's just filled with sword marks on her armor.
Artemis looks very beaten up, but still rather
Very strongly, just
very
scorched.
strong. Yeah, just a bit scorched and rather permanently scorched. It's gotten into the metal.
Well, so I will explain that she will definitely do her best to keep him safe on the battlefield.
Arcus nods and gestures to a few rings on one of his gauntlets, his shield gauntlet,
Mm-hmm.
and will say, "When we have some extra time, I have similar bands to these that if we are all to fight together, then it is best that at least you, as the healer of all men, it would be best if you had one.
Shots. Oh yeah, I should probably explain Aryan. And
He doesn't really question Aryan. He's
We've
lived.
never seen a Pegasus before, but
It's true, but he's lived with dragons. Not much is really going to surprise him that much anymore.
well, she's still gonna explain how he works and if he wishes to get a ride, how he will get around to get back to her.
He'll not.
He is skittish.
Artemis will smile at the skittish part.
Well, that's just how Pegasus are. Where did Evolda go?
she's below deck right now.
Oh, okay. Sure, just freak everyone out.
Okay. Anything else?
Or pretty much just works the entire trip.
Well,
In that case, well, some of you are sleeping in whatever quarters you're in. And actually, I'll just leave you floating up there for now.
Where did I go?
Run off the ship.
stop the ship.
I'm just moving you off the side to kind of represent the fact that you're kind of,
But don't we just sleep in these beds?
I mean, sure you can be.
It just means you could be anywhere.
Yeah, the point is you're somewhere. You're just not relevant for what I'm about.
Hey, Hand of the Emperor, did you come to my bedroom too?
Yes, the kitchen is in your bedroom.
Okay. I don't judge.
Laurel,
It's the girl's room.
Mm-hmm.
there is a knock at your door
Well,
in the middle of the night.
I'll turn off some of all the beakers and whatnot. Come in.
You see William kind of push the door open.
Oh, sure, I'll look over them.
Laurel,
Yes, my lord.
he seems to sigh a little bit. Don't call me that.
He gives me a slight smile. Is something wrong?
Yeah. Can we talk?
Sure, come in.
Come in. Close the door.
Put a blocker on this stuff. So it doesn't boil over or something.
He kind of watches, not really sure what's going. Yeah.
Go over here. Sit down.
He kind of twiddles his fingers for a second, trying to work out exactly how to word something.
Tea?
Oh, sure, I guess.
Alright then. I think I had in one of these beakers.
He looks a little concerned as you start searching for beakers, knowing what you store in there.
Pour it into a cup. Sip some of it. Not slowly. Push a cup to him.
Seeing you drink some, still not entirely sure if it's safe. We'll take a drink. Well, I've been having these really strange dreams recently. To begin to describe it to you, a woman with bright red hair, who you would recognize quickly to be Iris. Seemingly have mentioned you a few times. As you will find out, he has been, well, you'll find out about the fact he's been dreaming and talking to her in his dreams. So he wasn't too sure on who she was. So apparently she's now at the palace? He's confused. In the
He
prison?
doesn't narrow his eyes. Could you tell me everything that has happened in these dreams? Everything could be important.
He will certainly go through and will tell you about this lovely woman he's been talking to in his dreams and He's not too sure who she is and kind of always in a daze, so he doesn't really think about it too much.